Only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got not a grand tournament, a RTT, felt like a grand tournament with Death Guard. So if you guys are on the Death Guard train, the 18 Death Shroud is no joke. If you guys saw the thumbnail, it's basically we ran 52 Death Guard Terminators. We did the Blight Lords, we did the Death Shroud, we did the characters, we did Typhus, we did everything. So this was kind of like a meme voted on my Patreons to make me suffer, and we went 3-0 at a local RTT, our home store, Alternate Universes, Bluebell, Pennsylvania. We went 3-0 with this list. It wasn't fully painted, so we didn't place in first, but still going 3-0 with this list gives you the perspective of actually building around this like 18 Death Shroud build, or even putting Blight Lords in the list could be a potential viable option in 10th edition for Death Guard, especially with the points changes and Mortarion going down to 300. I can't wait to throw him on the table with the Death Shroud. There's just so much to talk about in this video. It's going to be a fun video because, again, it's a meme list, nothing super competitive. It's very fun to put on the table if you want to play a friendly game. I wouldn't suggest bringing this to a tournament or a GT. If you really want to test it and you have it, do it. I borrowed about 10 Death Shroud or 10 Blight Lords to make this happen. But again, we did it for the Patreon. So if you guys are a part of the Patreons, thank you for putting me through this. But I do thank you for the support, because I wouldn't be doing this without you. We're going to Worlds next week. We're #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world right now. We won Nova Open this year. We won Lone Star Open, 2 major GTs this year. So we're having a hell of a year. And again, wouldn't be doing it without the Patreon. So if you guys want to support the channel, you like the videos like this, hit the like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. Anytime I see videos spike in views, comments, subscribes, all that stuff, it really pushes me to do more. So we get a lot of good Death Guard content coming. We're actually going to be talking to Disgustingly Resilient hopefully soon. So more Death Guards going to be coming up to the channel. So let's get into our sponsors real quick, and then we'll get into picture by picture, turn by turn, what we did good, what we could have worked on, and the 3 games that we got in this RTT. Let's go. What's up, gents? If you want to support the channel, the best way to support us is to click on any of these links in the descriptions, as well as on the main page. We have our 3D6 Wargaming, the objective markers. We have the Rexar Lasers Terrain. Use the code DIRTBAG for free shipping. And also the Patreon page. That'll be at the end of the video. But the merch store is the news store. If you guys want to support and wear some of the swag at the RTTs and GTs coming up, make sure you come up to me and say, hey, check out this swag, because I will love it. We have a bunch of orc swag, a bunch of 40k swag, but mainly we got the Dirtbag swag. This tumbler, legit, use it every single day. Coffee and water, and then these hoodies are so comfortable. I would recommend getting a size up just so they're comfortable on you, as well as with the t-shirts and any of the muscle tees. But this jersey specifically, these are super lightweight, perfect for RTT and GT settings. The 4 ounce is the lightest weight that you could possibly get. It is, I would highly recommend the 4 ounce. The 6 ounce is a little bit heavier, but the 4 ounce is perfect for RTTs. We have white and black versions, and if you guys are interested, all of the stickers are on the t-shirts as well. But guys, that's the best way to support us, is head over to Patreon and click on our merch store and represent the Dirtbags in some merch. Not only can you support us at the merch store, but you can also support us on Discord by messaging me specifically, DM. We sell poker chips, which are great for objective markers, naming specific units that have buffs or debuffs, and sticky objectives. We use them every single game. All of the stickers are available as you see over here, and then all these models, we have Cypher, which is in every single list. We have our Tech Priests for Grey Knights and any Space Marines that are really hard to get. We have the Phobos Librarian, the Phobos Lieutenant with the combi weapon. Kaldis Assassin should still be in every single list, and the old school Cotiez model. We also have the widgets, which are used in every single game, as well as the dice. The dice are limited edition. Once they're sold out, they are gone forever. But guys, let's get back to the video. All right, so first, you guys are wondering what the hell was the list. If you guys haven't seen it already, it's already posted on the Discord, stuff like that. But I made this, I posted it up. I said, all right, we're going to run Custodes, Death Guard, Grey Knights, Chaos, Kroot. Which one do you want to see? Most of the votes were Death Guard. I was surprised. Grey Knights were very close second place, but a lot of my cuddle buddies voted Death Guard as well because they want me to run the game in an hour and not 3.5 hours like I did last time with the crew. But with this, it was voted Death Guard, and then I gave them 2 list options. One was a Mortarion, pretty competitive 18 Death Shroud list. And then we have this list. So obviously everybody voted for this list to make my life hard and fun, and let's get into it. So first off, we're leading off. Now I'll go over the differences that I would change with this list at the end of the video, kind of what I changed about it and actually make it a little bit more competitive. But we got the Death Guard Sorcerer. He does the -1 damage. In combat, actually never used this the entire time because we did play Tau twice, which I thought I was going to get tabled both times. But Death Guard Sorcerer, -1 damage. In combat, it's with a Death Shroud. Lord of Contagion, insane. Did you know that the Lord of Contagion has grenades? I think it's the only Terminator to have grenades in the Death Guard besides Mortarion. So yeah, we didn't get to use it, but we had that option of Lord of Contagion, full rerolls to hit with the Death Shroud, then Lord of Virulence. I'm trying this guy with the Blight Lord, so the full rerolls to wound is actually pretty sick into infantry. I didn't really play a lot of infantry this weekend, so didn't really get to test that out a lot, but he is a cool model. Typhus should be in every Death Guard list. Then we have 10 Blight Lord Terminators. Now my mindset with these are the flares are just insane. Like once I read the flail melee profile, I did take 2 of them out in one list, and then I read it again. I was like, why would I take out 12 attack? Like I need to get into combat. So if I'm going to get into combat, I need 12 attacks with a flail. It's just insane the amount of attacks. I was rolling dice, and the guy was like, how many attacks do they have? I was like 6 each. They're like, what? I was like, yeah, it's kind of dumb. So and the blades are AP 2 4 attacks each. Like you're getting 8 bubonic blades going in 8, 16, 32 attacks, hitting on 3s, lethal hits, and AP 2. Like it's pretty good. Then you have the 12 flail attacks. So we gave all the squads the Plague Spears, anti-infantry 2+, and then we had 2 blight launchers, and then this unit had the Reaper autocannons. This one also had the combi weapons, so I put all the combi weapons in this unit and then all the bolters in this unit. This was the one with the full rerolls to wound with the Lord. So I think going back, I don't know if I would run the blight launchers. I mean, they both did their thing. I think having the Reaper autocannons were actually a lot more shots going into non-infantry units, so I played Tau twice, so it wasn't really good representation shooting the blade launchers into Tau tanks, stuff like that. So I got to test that out again, but I'll show you the difference when we move forward. So I needed to add some units to this. I couldn't just have all Terminators, so we added 10 Death Guard Cultists. The Scout move 6 is really why I put them in the thing, so I could get a little bit forward in the board to do some secondaries and not lose completely on secondary game. Then we have 18 Death Shrouds, just nonchalant. Let's just bring 18 Death Shrouds. So first off, we got 30 Blight Lords, 18 Death Shrouds, so that's 48 right there, plus the 4 Terminators right there. So you're looking at 52 Terminators Death Guard. And then finishing off with 10 Boxwalkers. So we got 2 small 10-man units, 1 to block out the backfield, 1 to do a scout move 6, and then we're leading it off with 52 Death Guard Terminators. So that's the list, guys. Super easy. Not a lot of different cards that you have to memorize. They all have basically the same stat line: T6, 2 up, 4 up, 3 wounds, speed 4. That was the killer. So yeah, let's get into it. We're gonna go over each game, starting with the first one, which is going to be orks. And just to show you, this is the box that we brought with all the Death Shroud. We have the Typhus, Sorcerer, all the Death Shroud, And then there's another character somewhere right there, the Contagion, and then the big flamer dude with all the cultists and stuff. So this is actually missing, I think, 10 Blight Lords as well. So I couldn't even fit 10 more Blight Lords in this box. I had to bring them separately. So yeah, that's the picture. It's so many Terminators. Oh god, it was so hard and so dumb and so slow. This guy is the Night Lord Sorcerer, which is Keevil painted. Looks so freaking good. Cool. So let's get into it. First game. This is the setup. I actually have the games right here. So let me pull this up over here so I can go over. The first game is Linchpin. Yeah. So it's Linchpin. It's Jam, Jam. So first one is J, that's Linchpin, and this is the setup 9 inches from the center. If you guys are interested, Bruxar Lasers are doing the clear plexiglass. It's great to basically, the link in the description below, but purchasing it and bringing it to every RTT practice game or tournament, not RTT, but like practice games in any store, it's definitely well worth the investment to practice on actual Games Workshop rectangles and then just put any terrain on top of it. These are all 3D printed terrain provided from Craig. So this is the terrain setup. This is our deployment. This is the army that we faced. Orc player, super fun guy. He's got just all of, this is the first time I played orcs, honestly, in 10th edition, so can't really tell you. I've heard about them. I kind of know what they do, but with Death Guard, -1 to hit against orcs is just crippling. It's just crippling. But yeah, you can see we got the boys, the weird boy, the pain boy, the character knob. Then we have some rocket jump pack dudes. We have the Terminator dudes, the pain boy, a couple Grots to get some CP. We have the infiltrator dudes, and then just regular boys in the big vehicle choppas, the beast hogs, beast riders, this big squig thingy with the rocket, and then 3 of these guys, and then this character is leading the squig riders right here. So 3 squig riders, 3 rockets, 3 of the these things, a truck. So it's just so much. He just kept bringing more stuff out. So this is our deployment. We have 2 Death Shroud in Deep Strike, and then we have 1 Blight Lord with the character in Deep Strike. It was like 990 points of reserves. We put our cultist here, so if we go first, we can kind of move up 6 inches and then potentially get like a cleanse or something on that objective. And then if we don't go first, we can kind of just move back 6 inches so we can block out the backfield. We have our, this is a good deployment strat. So like you put your little cheap infantry unit out front so that way it stops their charges. So this is good and gets Blood Angels, World Eaters, Orcs, anything that's going to get to you turn 1. You want to kind of like spread out your dudes so they can't get past you on the charge. So you're kind of blocking out their charges with just zombies turn 1. So I put my guys on the line because they're only speed 4. I can't really get anywhere with them. He doesn't have a lot of shooting, so I don't have to worry about getting shot off the table. So I put my guys on the line there, pretty close to the line there, and on the line there. So it looks like we only have 1 Death Shroud in reserves and 1 Blight Lord in reserves. We put 2 Death Shroud on the table and 2 Blight Lords on the table. So his deployment, this is him. He went first. I didn't get to go first all weekend, so that was great. He basically moves up. He has his infiltrator dudes there. Obviously, everybody else kind of like advances forward, so he doesn't get too far forward. Now, I'm not sure if he was afraid of my shooting, which I don't really have a lot, but he doesn't wild turn 1 because I'm not going to get to him, so he doesn't need to. He does put all of his squig riders up here. We do get a charge off on turn 1, so we move up our speed 5 Typhus leading the pact, so he moves up a little bit further, and then everybody else, this is like a 7 or 8 inch charge turn 1. I think we roll an 11, so we actually get the charge off turn 1 into these guys, and then we kind of pile in forward. So when we make that charge, actually I think we wanted the charge, but we didn't make the charge. Yeah, we didn't actually get the charge turn 1. I wanted to make the charge. I said, screw it, we're gonna try and go for it. We roll the charge and we fail it. I didn't want to spend a CP to re-roll it, so we're just like, all right, we're just gonna camp here. Now he's gonna wall this turn. So when he walls, he's gonna put literally as much as he possibly can into me, which is not gonna be fun. So I did the -1 to hit aura. I have the -1 to wound with the Death Shroud. Another -1 to hit with Typhus, so I wasn't really afraid of that. That's why he's up front. So it'd be technically -2 to hit this unit right here. Hitting on 6 is not good for orcs. These guys are super far back. They're there so I can countercharge if he does charge into me turn 1. And then the dudes again are blocking the charge for this unit right here. So I spread these guys out to kind of mitigate the charge on these guys. These guys advance forward, I think 2 inches. So they went from speed 4 to speed 6. And then the cultists moved up to be 6 inches away from this objective in case I need to move up and get something for secondary turn 1. My turn 1 secondaries were 0 because I couldn't literally do anything. But yeah, that's my movement turn 1. His turn 1, he basically charges in. This unit charges in, these guys charge in, these guys don't charge in. I'm not sure why I didn't charge these. If you're going to commit, just commit everything. And then these guys obviously charge in, they combi charge into the zombies and Typhus, and then that's where it gave us a 6-inch heroic intervention, so we were able to counter charge here and get onto the objective. I did also rapid ingress up here. He probably could have put his rocket dudes in this corner. That would have been a good counter. So if he puts like 1 or 2 units of his rockets from reserves over here, that stops me from rapid ingressing anywhere in this corner. Plus he can then turn 3, move up 12, and then get into the fight. So that was probably a mistake on his part there. So I rapid ingress onto this objective and kind of just wait behind this wall. Spreads out his guys back here, spreads out his guys back there, and then everybody else over here is kind of like running around. The trucks have the Terminators in there, so they can't really get out this turn to do anything. But after the charge, this is what it looks like. So after the charge, we countercharge with the 10-man. He, instead going after Typhus, he goes after my Blight Lords and he kills 4 of the Blight Lords. Now again, we are -1 to hit, so hitting on I think 4s with the leader and then 5s with the other dudes, not good. And then with the slapback, we kill all of the guys in here. So we killed both the character and the Squeakhogs. We killed the other character, War Boss, with the dudes over here. These guys are left down here because we put all the attacks into the other unit with the Death Shroud. So all the attacks went into the other unit. The Pain Boy with this little orc unit is still there. I do have pistols in my turn, so hopefully I can kill him with the pistols and then go do something else. But yeah, so we basically took the blunt force of the orcs and then hit them all back with all of our hitting on 2s, strength 8, AP 2 damage 4 scythes. It was just nuts. And then his 3 damage scythe with Typhus is just even killer, strength 9. Yeah, so that was the clapback. And then these guys basically advance forward because they're just so far away from everybody. So they're just advancing forward on the objective. I screen out the back corner a little bit with this Blight Lord. And then these guys kind of just pile in. So my goal this turn is to just get into this vehicle, potentially killing it, and then just killing these knobs with some shooting. And then if I can finish off these guys, camp the objective with 2 Terminators. And then over here, I think we had Mark for Death on turn 2. So he marks for death the 2 dudes back here, and then this infiltrating you right here. So if I can make a 9-inch charge out of Deep Strike, I can kill that unit, but that's me relying on making a 9-inch charge from Deep Strike. So this is what it comes out to on turn 2, or my turn 2. So we move up, these guys down outside 9 of the truck, and these guys behind the wall. So if I can just make that charge, that would be good. I did shoot everything into these kill cans. I think we killed 1 of them to shooting, just random pot shots. And then we finished off this unit with the charges. So we didn't kill them all in the shooting. We killed most of them, but it left, I think, 2 boys, 1 weird boy, or 1 Pain Boy, and then 1 of the knobs. So then we were able to get that charge to get the extra movement with our Blight Lords. So charging, piling, and consolidating was most of my movement this entire game. That was how I was able to move across the table. The movement was 4, but then the charge was like a 6 to 10, which got me that extra movement. So we screened out this little section, these guys backed up, screened out the backfield. These guys were already screening out this side. They failed their charge, by the way. These guys charged up here. They countercharged into these guys, and the big thing, I put everything down. I think I got this thing down to 2 wounds after both units attacked. And these Blight Lords are kind of just chilling, waiting to see what he does next turn. Copters came down, rapid ingress, so they can do something next turn. And yeah, that was it. So that was my turn 2. And this is just a random picture. And then turn 3, he gets his boys out of this truck. Yeah, took it down to 2 wounds. He gets his boys out of the truck right here, and he just basically blocks me so I can't get into his backfield. He's basically just trying to stop me from scoring or stealing his home field objective, as well as stopping my secondary. He runs his guys up onto the objective here, so he's able to stop my primary. We're playing linchpin, so I'm only getting this one and my home field, which he's getting this one and his home field. So he's getting these 2, I'm getting those 2, so we're tying on linchpin because he's running his units onto the or running his models onto the point, and I'm only OPSEC 1 on everybody. So even though I'm really slow tanky Terminators, I'm only OPSEC 1, so I can't really do anything with the objectives. Here I had like 1 2 3 4 5 6. He has 2 4 5 6. So with his 4 guys to my 6 Terminators, he is tying me. So but that is basically what he's doing there. The Terminators come down. I overwatch him because they are infantry, so I get to anti-infantry 2+. So I overwatch him, kill 1 Terminator, take 1 down to 1 wound, and then the Killicans come out to play as well. So he's got the Killicans and these guys coming into my Death Shroud, Blight Lords. Definitely good to test out. So after he makes the charge, I clap back, kill all the Terminators, and kill the Killicans. So we kill everything he's throwing into me. Is basically we hit so hard back with the -1 toughness. So basically I'm wounding them on 3s most of the time, and then all the lethal hits. So the amount of tax with lethal hits and the AP, he has a 5-up invuln save. After the invuln save, it's just they just die. So that was the clapback. So then we were able to kind of pile in. I wasn't able to get onto the point. I missed it by like a little hair with the consolidate. So we're still able to control this. I did finally take this over after killing everything in the center. So after we kill all that stuff, we kind of move up. And then charge. Now we're starting to take over his backfield. So after this turn, it's basically coming down to, I have 3 guys left in this unit. I have basically my full Death Shroud with Typhus. I have another full Death Shroud with the Sorcerer Terminator. So we got 3, 6, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 with that guy. So it's not looking good for the orcs at this moment. And then down here we have basically 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 Blight Lords still alive, and then these guys with the Lord still alive. So didn't kill a unit yet. Think he killed the zombies, so the zombies died. So he killed 1 unit so far, and we're just basically sweeping up the table after this turn. So he's got 2 Blight Copters left. All the Grots are dead. All the orcs back here are dead. We're basically just camping the points at this time now. So on turn 4, we get tabled, or sorry, he gets tabled, and then turn 5, this is the final game state. So we still have every unit of Terminator left on the table, and we still have the cultists back here just kind of screening out. And then we kill the Copters. So we tabled them by turn 5. The final result, this is the score. We get an 82. Now, we don't do painting at the RTTs because we don't want to discourage people for painting or not coming if their models aren't painted. So it's mainly to practice games, get 3 games in a day, play at RTT. So we do the points at the end. It's mainly for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd points or rankings. That's where the painting scores are going to come into play. So if you do have it painted, you get points at the end. If you don't have it painted, we go up to 90. So we got 82 out of 90. Not bad for having a speed 4 army. And then 55 for the orcs. So we have 8, 8, 8, 3 for the primary for the orcs, and then for secondaries we have 28 out of 40. Then for us we had 8, 13, 8 because he stopped me from getting the center, and then 15 at the end because the linchpin is now capped at 15. They did update that in the new rules. And then we had 38 out of 40 for secondaries, even not getting anything on turn 1. So I think we had no prisoners on turn 1. But then on turn 2, when he charged into me, I killed 2 plus 3 units. So I got my 5 points technically on bottom of or top of turn 2. So that helped out a lot. So him coming at me gave me some points. And then we had 5 for extend. We had 7, 5, 9, and then 12 on turn 5 because we had recover assets and sabotage. So we easily had 2 6-pointers on turn 5. So pretty good secondary score after game 1 with our 52 Death Shroud Terminators. So let's get into our next game, which is into Tal. This is our boy Kenny, who's actually another Patreon dirtbag. So it's cool to like see Patreons and dirtbags coming to the store. Dread was there too, and playing in the local meta. So you get to kind of hang out, talk, and chill and get some really good games because this store is really competitive, but so friendly. So it's a really cool store, and obviously you can see the terrain is really good. And we spent a lot of time with the 3D prints, making sure everything is legit, and having all the terrain for each table, even the mats as well. So that was good. So the next game is going to be. It's a simple one. We got take and hold. So take and hold with the stepping stone deployment. So it's 12 inches up, which is right at the edge of this terrain feature, and then 20 inches up to here with that little kind of square right there. So this is the board setup. Now we're going into Tau. So playing stepping stone with all these open freaking things is just scary. I was like, all right, I mean, if I went 2-1 this weekend, I would have been super happy with this list. But I was like, all right, I'm probably going to get tabled by Kenny with Tau. And I'll tell you where he kind of messed up and where it definitely differentiated and made the decision easy for me. So this is the list. He's got 2 of the big broadsides here. He's got one of the hammerheads with the missiles, one of the transports with the dudes with the shotguns. He's got a Pathfinder team. He's got a Kroot carnivore. He's got the Dark Strider with the no deep strike 12 inches. That definitely hindered me a little bit. He's got 1 stealth suit. Does he only have 1 stealth suit? I guess he has 1 stealth suit. And then he's got the big Riptide, Farsight, another Riptide, Commander, and Melta. This is the obviously the battle suit detachment. He's got the plasmas. He's got the chain guns. I don't know if he brought the flamers. I think he brought 2 plasmas, a Melta, and the chain gun. And that was it. And then the commanders had the plasmas and the Meltas. Yeah. So pretty cool list. I love this detachment. Like if I had $78 for a box of 3 battle suits times 5, I would definitely be running this attachment. But this is the deployment. So he's got stealth suits up here, carnivores, which have scout 7 right there, the transport, big guy, battle suit that has uppy downy, which is awesome, and the hammerhead waiting, and then he's got the pathfinders right up here. Then he's got a bunch of dudes in reserves. For us, we kind of do the same thing. The scouts are up front, so that way they can scout in this little triangle here, because that's like the perfect scout deployment right there. We have a unit of 10 Blight Lords right here, hopefully run out and not die. Then we have 10 Blight Lords right here. We have 6 Death Shroud right here, and then we put everything else in reserves. So I want to try and rapid ingress, get into combat as soon as possible, and try and hold down the Tau as soon as possible. That's my game plan going into it. If I step out, I'm probably going to die. So let's go in. Now this matchup, I did the -1 to their saves because I figured they weren't going to be near me to get the -1 weapon skill, which I was wrong. I was definitely wrong in not choosing the right thing. So I think the -1 ballistic skill against Tal is huge hindrance, especially later in the game. Like turn 3, 4, and 5, you're definitely going to be within 9 inches of me. So yeah, and this detachment can come down within 3. So if they come down within 3, basically they're always going to be in that contagion range. So he gets first, of course. So he basically scooches up his Kroots onto this, makes it sticky. This transport moves up on the tank, or sorry, on the point, and camps there. These guys scooch up. Pathfinders move up to get some line of sight. These guys rapid for free. This is turn 2 picture, but these guys rapid for free back there. These guys did the uppy downy. Hammerhead came out to play, Riptide came out to play. So what he's trying to do this turn, he's trying to get as many shots as he can onto this unit back here. So he puts basically the marker lights into there, 2 of the big guns into there, marker light from this thing into there. And yeah, that's basically what he aimed at. He killed 2, 4, 6, 8. So he kills 2 of my Terminators after all that shooting into these guys. So it kind of wasn't that good with the shots from the Riptides. I was expecting a lot more death from the Tau side. And then for us, when we scouted up 6, we moved up to here. We then scouted up or moved up 6 again. And I think this charge to go from here and touch his units, because the tank was out here. So I think I needed like a 9 or something to touch this Hammerhead that was up a little bit further. So when I rolled an 11. So my cultists basically, and this is why the other -1 ballistic skill would have came in huge right here, because now it goes off of 6 inches from these cultist models. So everything would have been basically within 6 inches of them to do the -1 weapon skill or ballistic skill. So that's where I kind of messed up. But they made the charge. So then I was able to kind of pile in and tag this vehicle, and just be annoying for his units right there. Where I messed up was I should have put 2 guys on this objective right here, like kind of tie them back a little bit, just tag 1 guy into this vehicle just to tag him, tag 1 guy into the tank just to tag him, and then put 2 guys on this point to stop his primary. That's where I messed up. So he was able to get 15 turn 1 on primary, and that's where I was like, all right, I'm losing on primary. I'm probably gonna get shot a shit ton when all of the battle suits come in. So this is not looking good for me. So he gets 15. Kroot didn't fucking move. They just sat there most of the game because I kept failing my charges. So Kroot made that sticky. Kroot should have been over here to make this sticky as well, but he never moved him from that spot. I don't really have any shooting against them. I don't want to shoot them because they're supposed to be my charge target if I can actually roll a charge. So after this turn, I rapid ingress these guys over here because this thing is able to fall back and shoot still. So he falls back the Riptide, able to shoot. He doesn't get line of sight onto the Death Shroud. He doesn't have a lot of shots coming in this way to the Death Shroud. So I rapidly ingress the Death Shroud here, just to hopefully move up and then kind of get into charge with this battlesuit. Now he does have a move, shoot, move ability. So once he sees them coming over here, he moves the battlesuit back 10 inches. So all my target is these stealth suits. That's really my only option to go into them. So it's not the best option to spend 360 points to go into, but that's what we're left with. So what does he do? He basically lines up everything again. Yep, backs up this guy. He then targets, I think he gets marked for death. And I obviously do the big man, the big unit, and then this unit. So he has to choose which unit he wants to chew through. He goes after, I believe, the same unit over here. 2, 4, 6. Yeah. So he goes after the same unit of Death Shroud up here. Yeah, because then all I'm left with for the Death Shroud is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's still 7, so we only killed 3 dudes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so not the best shooting from the Tau, I have to admit. So the 4-up invuln save, right, made a ton. The T6 -1 to wound for the Death Shroud didn't even shoot at them. And then the Blight Lords just being T6 with a 4-up invuln save with a bunch of small shots, which I can just do my cover saves unless he has the ignore cover Pathfinders. But most of the time I'm rolling on 3-up saves anyway. So that was kind of crazy. Yeah, so then I move up on turn 3. He kills all my cultists. Obviously they got murdered by Farsight. When I move up all of these guys, look how many guys I have in charge range. I put these guys as close as I can to this, and then I just shoot the stealth suits because I don't think I'm going to charge them anyway. So I just shoot them because I don't want to charge, and I can't get to his suits back here. So me charging over, which looking back on it, I probably should have, because then that just puts me a little bit closer to him. Instead, I was a bit fearful, and I was just trying to use the terrain to my best advantage. So I stayed back there. This guy, one guy, stayed on the center objective, so he can't come down within 3 and get onto the point. So that's a little trick. If you have a 40mm base like a Terminator, you can just put it wholly within the objective marker, so that way anything within 3 inches can't get onto the objective. So I did that there. I wanted to do that here. And then back here, I kind of like blocked out the same thing, so he can't come down within 3 on my home field objective to steal it. These guys are moving out. I have a 9-inch charge. I marked it right here before I moved, just so we both agree to it. I have a 9-inch charge from these guys to this thing. And that way, if I do make that charge, I can pile in and steal this objective from him. I have a like 7-inch charge with this unit of Death Shroud with Typhus into this unit, and then I have a 9-inch charge from this unit to this unit. So I have a 9-inch or like a 7-inch, 9-inch, 9-inch, and then I have a CP reroll for another 9-inch. So I have basically 4 charges to potentially make to try and steal this freaking center objective from this recruit, which is just super annoying. I fail all of them. So, yeah, that was bad. So I fail all of the saves. Now all my Terminators are basically out. I have these guys out, this squad out, that squad out, and then these guys potentially get some angles off with the other guys coming in from deep strike. So I failed all my charges. His then next turn, he started. Look at this castle right here. He's like, all right, guys, time to start shooting something. So he then just puts everything down on this bottom point because he sees that this top point is basically mine. I got 30 freaking Terminators just chilling on this top point. He's like, all right, I have to basically bring everything down on one side and just nuke one side going this way. So this is I had another Death Shroud unit in reserve, so I had a rapid ingress over here. This is where he probably could have helped himself by running everything basically forward. Like this transport could have ran forward, stop my rapid ingress. The stealth suits that the last turn could have ran forward, stop my rapid ingress. So if you're playing Tau and you have like cheap infantry units that could just have fly and advance forward to block deep strikes and rapid ingress targets, that's basically what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me as far back as humanly possible so your guns can basically just keep shooting me as I'm running in, especially with speed 4. So his guys come in back here. His plasma dudes would just whiffed. Like they didn't kill a lot. Farsight scooted up. This thing can now shoot finally. This thing backs up to get line of sight onto this unit. Dark Strider's doing his job. And then everything else basically gets line of sight onto this 10-man unit right here. So what he also could have done was the Kroot could have basically just advanced forward. So their speed's 7, so they get up to about here. And then if they advance like 4, then now my 9 inches gets pushed all the way back to here. So I wouldn't be able to rapid ingress over here to basically now move up and charge. Also, when he moved up these guys out of the tank, I overwatched him with all the flamers, anti-infantry 2+ flamers. So I overwatched him with 2 flamers and a bunch of random pot shots, killed 9 of them. So all he had left was 1 shotgun guy out of the transport. So if that happens, right, they get out, move up, transport. If they die, then the transport's like, all right, I'm yeeting myself. So transport's now running forward, 10, 12 inches and just getting more into my lines, so that way I can't rapid ingress close. I have to rapid ingress further away, which now he has another turn for me to have to like move up and get a charge off on something. So after lining everything up on this side, he kills. This is me failing that charge. This is me moving up 4 inches. I think if I'm outside 9, I need a 4, 5. I need a 5 basically, and I fail 5. Like if I make this charge, I'm able to pile in and basically kill this suit unit right here and steal the objective. I fail 5 twice. So a lot of failed charges this game. But after he shot all of that, he killed, what I have left, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he killed 6 of these Blight Lords. Didn't kill the whole unit after all that shooting. He killed 2, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6. He didn't kill any of the Death Shroud, and then he put a bunch of shots into this Blight Lord unit with those plasmas. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8, 9, 10. All right, so 2, 4, 2. All right, so he killed 6 of these guys with the plasma dudes, which did pretty good. So he kills 6 of those guys and then 6 of my other Blight Lords. So he kills 12 Terminators total with all of his round of shooting, and the AP and the 3 damage and all the 4 damage and everything. So all of that, he kills 12 Terminators. So it's now our turn to kind of move up 4 inches and try to make those charges. At that point, he probably should have ran his Kroot away from them, or run them forward and just make a line, so that way I can't really get past him. So what I would have done is I probably would have just ran my Kroot back if I didn't do what I told you last turn. So just run them back just so they're not giving them free charges and free kills turn 1, because if I get like no prisoners, that's an easy no prisoner target. And it gives me the slingshot effect to get past. So we finally made it onto the objectives after failing 2 turns of charges. So we're finally on the objective. So we have the center objective. We still failed this charge, which is terrible. So we should have been on all 3. So now it's time to start getting into combat. So after turn 3, we're starting to move up and starting to kill stuff. After failing this charge, he's got a plentiful shots over here to move up and get line of sight onto this unit down here. So he kills all but I think 3 of the Terminators. Yeah, so he kills all but 3 of the Terminators, and then I'm able to kind of move up and charge, and all I have left is 1 Terminator with the Sorcerer. So after all that shooting, he does kill most of that squad. But at this point, we're getting into combat. So going into combat with Tau with all this Death Shroud and Blight Lords is just not good. So Farsight is alone. We move up and just shoot Farsight. I think... yeah, we literally just move up and just shoot Farsight dead. Because again, we did choose the -1 to their save aura, so now Farsight's saving on his 4-up invul instead of his 2s, so that definitely helped out. And then these guys are just waiting on this objective over here. So they are getting pelted with shots and slowly dying, but they're stopping him from coming within 3 inches of the objective and just camping that back here. So there's 3 Terminators left over here with the Lord, and I still have 1 Terminator on here to kind of help out. If they do wipe this unit, I still have another unit on there to help out control it. And yeah, these guys whittled down. He moved this guy up finally to block some charges. And these guys hopped up, shot, and then hopped back 12 inches. So they did finally move up, finally get their charge. They got overwatched. They died. So I have 1 Blight Lord left with my Sorcerer. They move up and charge. These 3 Blight Lords down here that are left, they move up and charge. So I have about everybody over here tied up in combat. I have 4 Blight Lords here, a Death Shroud and Sorcerer there, so they're kind of fighting on the point. We have Typhus just murdering this Hammerhead, so Typhus and the Death Shroud and Blight Lords charge up here. They want to kind of blow up this thing, pound on the objective, and steal the objective. These guys spread out a little bit more, and then the Riptide keeps backing up and shooting this way. So we're starting to close in on the Tau. Most of his forces are down here. He still has the uppy downy guys just plucking away my Death Shroud at the top, but not doing enough damage for me to really worry about it. And then he finally kills, or this unit finally moves up and I get them into combat. So this is my melee unit. They are full rerolls to hit with the grenades. So they finally move up. His Riptide moved up and got on the objective to make sure I didn't get primary. So Riptide moves up. I then move up 4 and then make that charge. So finally get my melee unit into combat. So they kill the Riptide. Dark Strider's the only one left. Down here, we're just wiping away the units. His uppy downy guys had to do actions this turn to try and get the most on turn 5. So his downy unit came down up there, did containment. This solo guy moved over here, did containment. And then he's got everybody kind of just running forward and saying, all right, take me, because they're stuck in combat. So they're not really going to leave combat and do anything left. So by turn 5, this is the end board state. So I think on my turn, we would basically clear off most of this chaff on the objective. And then we have this objective up here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the objectives by turn 5. And this is the final result. So Death Guard win. It's a close game, 73-65. Raise banners. I don't have any battle line, so I didn't get anything in this matchup. Turn 1, I get 0. Turn 2, I get 0. I mean, I did hold 2 objectives. I held the top one, and then I held my home objective, so I did get 10 for primary. But turn 2, I got 0. Turn 3, I got 7. Turn 4, I got 8, and turn 5 I got 8. So I only had 23 secondary score turn this game with 50 out of 50 primary. So the primary, even though I wasn't stealing it earlier enough, I probably should have had, you know, 15 here, maybe even 15 here. I should have had at least 15 on turn 3. And he would have had less on primary as well. So he had 15, 15. He should have had 15, maybe 10, and then 5. So his primary was good, 45, and then he had 20 out of 40 for secondary. So turn 1, he got established locus for 2 points. Turn 2, he got 6. Turn 3, he got 0 because he couldn't assassinate a unit, and he couldn't overwhelming force because he just couldn't kill anybody off the objective. So being so tanky actually helped out with this mission and these secondaries because he couldn't focus down everything at once to kill a unit. So 73-65 against our board Kenny. I think where he messed up was just blocking out my deep strikes. So if he could have, like these guys here, they could have just advanced forward on his turn 2. He kept them right there. So if they just basically yeet forward, right? They spread out like here. They're speed 8, so they advance. So let's say they get up to here. Now they're spreading out to here. So these guys who rapid ingress would have had a rapid ingress basically over here instead. Now the crew, they could have done the same thing. They could have advanced forward and kind of blocked out this objective, so they could have blocked out here, and that would have pushed my rapid ingress back all the way back here. Now up here, he could have used the tank as a sacrifice, so the tank could have basically moved forward or moved back. So what he should have done was the Pathfinders could have came out, advanced out, and pushed this deep strike back. So there's bunch of different options, basically pushing my rapid ingress because you know it's coming. I have 900 points off the table, so pushing those units back is going to be the goal into a deep strike heavy army like this list. And then same thing on this turn, rapid ingressing these guys down here. He could have pushed his guys up to get rid of that rapid ingress option. So if I would have had a rapid ingress up top, that would have been all of my army up top, and he would have just swung down this way and probably focused everything down on this unit and killed that unit off the table. Instead, now he has to worry about this unit getting into combat with him. So that was probably the mistake that he made, which definitely would have swung the tides. Now, game 3, Tau. So played our boy Will. Really good guy, comes all RTT, is really good player. He loves Custodes, and now he's playing Tau. I don't know what other armies he has, but like I said, really good player. It reminds me of Brian, because Brian plays Custodes and Tau. And he's running basically the same list as Kenny, just a little tweaks. He brought 2 of these dudes, which I didn't know they were that good, instead of 2 of the big suits. But he still has Farsight. He's got Flamers with Farsight instead of the mass shots. He's got 3 stealth suits, Pathfinder still. So yeah, it's really an investment. I think Vespid are really, really good in Tau. So similar list. He's got Plasmas, Meltas, Uppy Downy, another commander, missiles, and then he's got Flamers. So Flamers, Meltas, no plasma, it doesn't look like, missiles, and 2 of these infiltrating. These dudes are awesome. I really wish I might actually buy these dudes. All right, so this game, kind of tough for the Tau player. We're playing Purge the Foe. So we have 52 Terminators he's got to chew through and basically kill an entire unit to get 4 points. So I was really confident going into this matchup after playing the last matchup and saw what he didn't do. So I was very confident going into this, and we changed our Contagion to -1 ballistic skill, which was huge this matchup. So you guys could probably guess our turn 1, we get 0 for secondary points because we're so fucking slow. So let's get into deployment. It's diagonal deployment. I probably should have put a unit on the line right here. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe just because I was afraid of getting shot this way with everybody, but I definitely, instead of going this way, I probably should have put this 10-man, or at least these Death Shroud with Typhus. I probably should have put them right, like as close to this cover as I could. So that way, if he does shoot me from that way, I would pop the -1 to hit. The big things, ignore it, which kind of suck, but he only has 1 of them in this matchup. So I popped the -1 to hit and a -1 to wound. So I would basically have shots from this guy and that guy going into me. Maybe he would have deployed that guy differently over there. So I'd have 3 of those going into me. But that leaves me this side of the table kind of run forward and plant for next turn. He puts his Pathfinders up forward because they're scouting. Everything else, the uppy downy guys are on the table. Vespid are on the table. The regular dudes in the back are blocking out the backfield. Stealth suits. And I think the other stealth suits are in reserves. Yeah, all right. So he gets first turn, which is good for me because then I can kind of see how many he kills, and then I can go based off of that. Going second in Purge the Foe is really, really good. Because if you don't kill something turn 1, you're kind of screwing up a little bit just because you are losing out on 4 points. But what does he kill turn 1? I don't know if he kills anything turn 1. But oh yeah, so he doesn't get anything turn 1. He gets 0 for Purge the Foe turn 1. I get 0, obviously, Purge the Foe turn 1. So he lost out on 4 points there, which was huge. So our turn 1, he moves up this guy on the point. He moves up the Pathfinders on the point as far away as he possibly can from me, which is smart. That way I can't get those charges off. These suits move up. He's doing the thing that I told Kenny should have done, like basically move them forward along the edges so that way my rapid ingress is pushed further back. Pathfinders spread out. This guy scooches up, gets on the point, so now he's controlling all of the points in the center. So he's probably going to win off of the holding the primary over me. So he's going to be getting 8 points almost every turn for the primary over my 4. But I have to kill more than him, so I have to get into combat as soon as possible like I did against the last tile player. So we advance forward. We don't roll high enough for Typhus to not be shot at. So Typhus runs up, gets behind as much as he possibly can there. These guys roll like a 5, so they're running 9 inches up to here. 2, 4, 6. So I have 6 guys left. He killed 4 of them turn 1 because he's able to get line of sight with this thing and that thing. I didn't know they shoot so freaking far. So we got line of sight with this guy, and this guy into that unit, and he kills 4 of them. So definitely helped out. Only killed 4 of that unit turn 1. These guys advance up to the wall as much as they can. Zombies stay there. These guys block out. I know his thought is to come down in my backfield and kill these guys as soon as possible. That's probably what Kenny should have done last turn. If you can come down within 3 and just flamer the shit out of that unit, and now I have nothing in my backfield, I then have to commit my guys deep striking my backfield to try and kill you. So that's what Will did, which was really good. He basically comes down turn 2. Oh, this is me failing my charge. But I didn't take a picture of what he did. So I think Typhus scooches up. He needs a 7 because these guys have -2 to charges, which great is even better for Death Guard. So -2 to charges. So I'm within 7. No, within 6. Within 5. Something like that. I need a 7 basically. So I need a 7 on the charge. And I fail it, I re-roll it, and then fail it again. So these guys should technically be dead to help my rapid ingress units coming in. So these guys should be dead. I should have held the point there to stop him from getting an 8. But he did steal my home field, so it wouldn't have mattered. I messed up my home field as well. See my home field? I didn't triangle the little cultist here. So he was able to plant 1 battle suit on the point. I know he could have spent a CP to move them after shooting, but he didn't have to. So either way, he was going to steal my home field objective. Comes down, flamers those guys, gets on my point, steals my home field. So now I don't even have a home field points. I get 0 for primary holding on top of 2. I didn't hold any objectives, which I was like, oh my god, this is so bad. So this is at that point where I'm like, I'm probably gonna lose because he's so much more mobile than I am. So he's just basically running around shooting me from all different angles. So when he comes down there, I have to rapid ingress. So I rapid ingress in my deployment zone. I rapid ingress this 6-man unit basically in my terrain feature right here. I rapid ingress these guys instead of the melee dudes because at least I have the sorcerer who can get at least once per game Kamehameha shots off on a stealth unit to try and do something for that. So I move up. I have to decide, am I going to take the Overwatch? Because if I'm within if I'm within 9, it's +1 to wound. And then they're all flamers, so they all automatically hit. And then if I'm within 6, it's +1 AP. So I'm like, all right, I get all my guys within 6 of one dude, so he has to roll that guy separately, but I am within 9 of the main guy. So his flamers, strength 4 flamers, wound being on 5s down to 4s, but the front guy's AP2, the other guy's AP1. So I'm like, all right, maybe I can take the AP4 or AP1 flamer shots, which I do. So I roll the saves, 3-up saves. He doesn't wound me at all with the AP2 guy. So he kills one dude and takes this guy down to 2 wounds. So he only kills 1 Death Shroud on that Overwatch. I'm like, all right, that was worth it, because now I have like a 4-inch charge compared to a 5-inch charge compared to a 7-inch charge. So I take that. He rapid ingresses these guys in the back corner, outside 9. So that way he has somebody next turn to basically move up, shoot, and then steal my home field objective again. So really good play by Will. This guy is starting to scooch up. He is blocking out my rapid ingresses targets. So this guy's camping the objective. Vespitor doing great, blocking out this whole section of the table. He's basically blocking out the entire table for me. So he's got his whole backfield. He's got the center. He's got the front, and he's got this back. So I wish I can draw. All I can basically rapid ingress is right here, where my Death Shroud are, or back here where my Death Shroud are. So I only have 2 spots to really rapid ingress against this opponent. So I need to get into combat to clear spots for me to come in with my deep strikes. We spread out a little bit back here, block some deep strikes. We finally get in combat with the Death Shroud or the Blight Lords. So the Blight Lords move up, make that charge, get into there. I pile into the stealth suits, and I think I kill 1 or 2 of the stealth suits because I made like an 11-inch charge. So I charge in, slingshot, pile in, kill them. These guys also make the charge because they were behind this little wall. So they move up, they make the charge over here. So now I'm starting to get into combat. So these guys make it into combat here. These guys kill the thing over there. I fail my charge that I showed you. I failed that charge, which would have helped out so much clearing the center with Typhus's unit. And then down here, we're in combat with Farsight with his 3 dudes, which we wipe out pretty easily. So with all of the attacks, lethals, we just murder Farsight and his unit. Yep, dead. So we kill that guy, kill Farsight. So we did get kill more. So we got 8 points for a primary on turn 2. These guys are still stuck in combat. So we just got the commander with the 1 battlesuit left over here, 2 battlesuits left over here with 2 of the battlesuits. These battlesuits are still in combat. So I'm leaving some units alive, so I still get to kill more potentially later in the game. He's got to chew through this 5-man, this 10-man, Typhus and his 4 Death Shroud, this 5 with the Sorcerer. And yeah, so his going into turn 3, he starts to bring in more guys. These guys come down within 3. These guys are back here. So he's got the missile guys, the melted dudes. This guy got line of sight. Battle suits or stealth suits moved out to block the rapid ingress. This guy's just camping this objective. Vespitor doing really good blocking out the backfield. These guys are still blocking out the backfield. These guys fell back this way. These guys fell back that way. So he's still blocking out most of the terrain, most of the battle. He's basically blocking out. So not good for the Death Shroud. But we have our second rapid ingress target, the melee dudes. I have to figure out where I'm going to try and defend. Am I going to try and go in the center? Am I going to go back here, try and defend my backfield? Probably. Because if I lose this home field objective, I'm losing on so many points for the primary. So let's get into he nukes the whole unit. I rolled a lot of 4-up saves early in the game. This time I didn't roll any 4-up saves. So literally just one-shots my unit with these guys and this dude, and then these missile guys finished him off, the Sorcerer. So he nukes that unit pretty easily. I didn't make any 4-up saves, and I think I rapid. Did I rapid the melee dudes? Yeah, so I guess I rapid in the center. So the melee dude rapid ingressed right where these Terminators are. So it was 9 inches away from this dude right here. So I basically rapid in right here behind the cover. So I have my melee unit now, who hopefully can get into combat and camp the center, coming down with rapid ingress. So that leaves one more unit of Blightlords coming in on turn 3. Blightlords come down over here. I have to keep 2 guys behind the wall because I couldn't, there's no room, so I couldn't get outside 9 inches and get everybody in line of sight. So he did get some cover from that, which kind of sucked, but I did make my charge. So me making this charge, coming in from deep strike, making a 9-inch charge, I think I rolled 11. Me making that charge was a huge swing with the primary and killing and stuff like that. So once I made that charge, I was able to pile in and basically wipe that unit that I charged. And then after I piled in, I tagged his unit that was uppy downy. That helped out a ton. So me making that 11-inch charge was able to get this one guy that was 9 inches away, charge all the way up to here, 11 inches. And then when I pile in diagonally right here. And then when I kill that unit, I'm able to consolidate right here and tag this unit. I don't care about tagging them in combat. They can't then go up and down. So that really was the mindset of tagging that unit to stop them from freaking running away and shooting me next turn. So I got my full 10 men with my character in my backfield, clearing out the chaff. I got my melee unit with Typhus clearing out these battlesuits and the Pathfinders finally. And then I got this Blightlord Terminator squad killing the commander with the stealth suits up here. So they shot the stealth suits, charged the battle suits, and cleared them off. So all he has left after this turn, he's got this unit, which could shoot in combat, but not really going to kill a full 10 man. These stealth suits, this guy, Vespid, unit of warriors back here, and that's it. So we then start kind of running forward. Like, all right, we're just going to run at you now. This thing is sticky. He can't go up and down anymore, so I don't have to worry about that. We do kill most of these guys in combat. We left the commander after that. We kill 2 of the stealth suits. This guy ran away. This guy took 3 wounds from, I think, Typhus with his psychic weapon. These guys run away. These guys just running forward. I do have left 1 of my Blightlords left. He's the only guy that survived from that unit, and then he gets Call the Horde. So when he got Call the Horde, I was like, all right, all you have to do is kill that one guy. So he lines up basically everybody to shoot that one guy. So that's what he does. This guy moves over to line up to kill that one guy. This guy moves up to kill that one guy. The Vespid come down over here to kill that one guy. So he basically lines up everything to kill that one guy to get Call the Horde, which was pretty funny. So at the end of the game, he's got this guy left, which now they're really close to my Blightlord, so we'll kill him. We'll kill this thing with just all these Death Shroud just looking at him, and then we'll basically run onto the point over here. So final score of the game right here. Let's pull this over. It's actually another close game with the Tau. We have 78 to 67. I noticed with this list, it's going to be close almost every time. You basically just have to eventually get onto the points and camp the points. Like, once you get to combat, it's a lot easier because the first 2 turns you're just running at them. So turn 1, he gets 0 because he doesn't kill anything, but he gets secured no man's land for 5. He gets 12 because he held more than me and killed 1, held more than me and killed 1, and then held 1, didn't kill anything. And then turn 5, he got Call the Horde, so he killed that one guy and he held 1. So he basically got 8 points for primary on turn 5. 31 out of 40 for secondary, not bad. Our score, we came back in the end because we started holding more and killing more, and then holding more and killing more. So we got 16, 16, which led up with 50 for primary. So we had 0 turn 1, didn't kill anything. Turn 2, we killed more, but didn't hold anything. And then hold 1, kill more, hold more, kill more, hold more, kill more. We got 9 because we were able to extend battle lines on turn 2, and then storm hostile objective on turn 2. So finally, when I was able to make that charge, I finally got onto the points to do it. I think I kept extend battle lines because I knew I was eventually going to get to a point on turn 2. So we kept extend battle lines, and storm hostile we picked up. So we got storm hostile, overwhelming force for 5, 6 for containment, which helped out, and then 8 for cleanse because there was nobody left on the points, and then engage on all fronts. We were able to kind of spread out enough. We had our zombies. These guys basically ran over the line on that side. We had Typhus and his unit over in this corner, and then we had these guys in this corner. So we had all 4 corners, which was cool. So yeah, it was a good game. Like I said, Will's a great opponent. Getting 2 Tau back to back though with my list was just dumb. All right, guys, so that was the picture by picture, turn by turn. Let's go over what we would change and what kind of lists coming up we're going to be moving forward with this dumb meme list. All right, I posted this in the Patreon page already, but we took out Lord of Contagion, not Lord of Contagion, the other one, the Flamer dude. I didn't see him, the 4 rerolls to win. I didn't think it was worth it with the Blight Lords. I didn't face infantry, so it wasn't really a huge test. But if I take out the Lord of Virulence, I can add some Nurglings, which would be really good into Blood Angels and other melee armies like Chaos and stuff like that. So the -2 to hit for anything but vehicles and monsters is just dumb. So we still have the Sorcerer with Living Plague, because him coming down added Mortarion to this list as well. So him coming down, Mortarion extending the contagion range by 3, he also extending it by 3. So you come down turn 2, your contagion is what, 12 inches? So turn 2 you're 6 plus 6, so you have a 12-inch contagion. So when you come down outside 9, you're able to put whatever you want into contagion range to help out with flamers or -1 ballistic skill, -1 weapon skill, whatever it may be. So that is going to be the thing to test out, is Mortarion adding the 3-inch contagion range for turn 2, so that way when he comes down he can actually flame or something. Typhus, obviously Lord of Contagion, because having 2 units with grenades is pretty cool. Mortarion, and then we have 2 10-man Blightlord Terminators. We did put the flails with the Plague Spewers and the Reaper autocannons. So 2 Reaper autocannons and the combi bolters, plague combi bolters. So lethal hits on these is why we're doing the bolters instead of the combi weapons. Then we have Cultist, same, 18 Death Shroud, 10 Boxwalkers, and then a 6-man Nurgle unit. So that gives me 6 Nurglings to kind of like spread out, be super annoying, and against melee armies I would deploy them defensively, so that way on turn 2 or 3 when we're in combat I can then basically move them forward, get them in combat, and do whatever it may be. So it also helps out with battle line, because once I get that battle line on an objective that I control, I'll get some points now, so that'll help out as well. So that is the change, guys. I dropped a 10-man Blight Lord and the Lord of Virulence, and I added Mortarion and 6 Nurglings and the Living Plague. So that was my change. Some other lists that I was trying to test out. This was the other list that was voted technically down, but so with this list we got the Terminator Sorcerer, Lord of Contagion, Mortarion, Typhus, 2 Plague Marines in a Rhino, so 2 5-mans in a Rhino, Blightlord Terminators, 10-man, 3 Predator Destructors, 6 Death Shroud Terminators, Bloat Drone with the Flamers, 20 Poxwalkers. I really like Poxwalkers with Typhus. Going against that with Chaos Cult is just scary. Any melee army, which there's a lot of melee armies now, going against -2 to hit in melee, and they just keep coming back, dumb. So 20 Poxwalkers with Typhus, Beast of Nurgle, and 3 Nurglings. So this list actually is pretty well rounded. It's got its guns, it's got Mortarion, it's got its infantry, and it still has Death Shroud and Blightlords. So Blightlords is 90 points more than 6 Death Shroud, but they got their utility. Yeah. So you can actually put the Sorcerer into the Blightlord unit for the -1 in combat, or the Lord of Contagion with the Blightlords, because even full rerolls say with the Blightlords, 12 attacks from those flails and 4 attacks each from the Bubonic Blaze with lethal full rerolls to hit, that's actually a scary unit. So you have 2 options. You could do the Sorcerer with the Death Shroud, or the Lord of Contagion with the Blade Lord. So a couple different options. So guys, so many options with Death Guard right now. I think they're in a good spot. The addition with their Contagion just made them that much better. But like I said, there's going to be a lot more Death Guard content coming out. So leave it in the comments below what you liked, didn't like, how we can improve on the channel, what you liked about the video. If you like this type of content with the pictures and turn by turn, and me running 52 Terminators with Death Guard in an RTT and going 3-0 kind of made some people crazy. So appreciate it, guys. Good luck. Support the channel over at patreon.com. Buy some merch, and we'll see you in another video soon. What's up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are thinking about joining the Patreon page, we're going to go over each tier and how it's going to benefit you and what you're looking for specifically to get out of 40k in 10th edition coming up. There's a lot of stuff to go over. There's a lot of tactical videos up on the channel, which is for free. There's going to be a bunch of perks that you get specifically for being a part of the Dirtbag Nation Patreon page. So first off, we have the first tier, which is $1 a month. You guys get first access to the videos over at patreon.com. You also get access to the Discord, which is specifically a private link in the Discord that only Patreon members can see. So you guys will have first access to that. Also a benefit is Patreons over the Dirtbag Nation get live streamed games on patreon.com streamed from YouTube, but there's only links specifically for the patreons.com. So not only do you get first access to these videos, you also get to see live stream games specifically only on patreon.com. The next tier is the Justicar. You guys get a shout out on every single video on YouTube. You also get to support us a little bit more. You get first dibs at voting on Discord, as well as you just kind of say, hey, I just want to be a Justicar Dirtbag and support you guys a little bit more than that $1 a month tier. But you get all the same access as well as the different color over on the Discord. So the third tier is the competitive Dirtbag. This tier, you get a lot more one-on-one coaching. This is a lot of the Dirtbags over on the Dirtbag Nation. They are able to send out messages one-on-one, go over list ideas, tactics, anything you guys want to talk about. When I was getting into 40K, or really any game in general, I always wanted to message the top players in the meta and just ask them questions. This $10 a month tier gets you that opportunity to message us one-on-one on Discord, so that way we can actually coach you, give you our insights, suggestions, and that's going to get you better at the 40k 10th edition as a whole. So that tier alone, just $10 a month to have one-on-one coaching, one-on-one messages anytime throughout the month, that's going to be a perfect tier for you guys. Even if you're brand new to the game, we go over 1,000 point list, 1,500 point list, 2,000 point brand new starting list, team list, anything you guys need. That's what the competitive Dirtbag tier is for. Also, you get a little bit red number name tag on Discord, so people know that you're really serious about getting into the competitive scene. The Grandmaster Dirtbags. This is the all-in-all $25 a month tier. You get one-on-one coaching, everything we said prior to this, but you guys get to see me, Mike, any of the other Dirtbags play your specific list that you want to see tested out live on one of our battle reports. You guys get to mention, suggest videos you guys want to see coming up on patreon.com. So you guys get the above first tier benefit of everything that we do over at Dirtbag Nation. All the support mainly comes from you guys supporting us over here at Dirtbag Nation. And Grandmasters, I can't thank you enough, but for $25 a month, you get one-on-one coaching and anything you want to see live on the tabletop. So you get to see a professional play right in front of you. You guys get to kind of like see it one-on-one, and I'm actually making this specifically for you. There's also TTS events that you guys can suggest. If you guys want to do a first 1 or 2 turn run through on TTS, we can actually log in and coach you one-on-one with that. If you guys see us at any GTs, you guys get special benefits, free dice, stuff like that. Anytime you purchase a merch thing on Discord, you guys get a free limited edition Dirtbag dice sent to you with every single purchase on top of that. So there's a lot of benefits coming up with the Grandmaster Dirtbag. Guys, I can't thank you enough for supporting us. Definitely let me know which tier would be best for you if you go over to patreon.com and specifically go to a tier. And make sure you don't forget to message me up on Discord. That's where we check every single day. If you guys are really into getting into 10th edition 40k, head over to Patreon, join the competitive Dirtbag or the Grandmaster. Message me as many times as you possibly want, and I'll coach you the best I possibly can on any specific army that you guys play. Mainly our armies right now, currently, going into 2024, is going to be Chaos Space Marines, Grey Knights, Death Guard, and then we have Custodes, Sisters, and I think that's it going into the wings of 2024. But again, any other army that you guys play, we have other coaches lined up for the Dirtbags that are ready to take on that role of the competitive Dirtbag page. So guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for joining the Dirtbag Nation if you guys are already a part of us. And we'll see you in another video soon.